Remember when a rugged Aussie with a big knife and a bigger heart took over the outback in New York City? It was 1986 and Crocodile Dundee became a global legend. Today we're going back in time and showing you what the stars of this classic look like now in 2025. Get ready for some serious nostalgia, because this is Crocodile Dundee then and now. Paul Hogan became a global icon as Mick Crocodile Dundee, the charming bushman who stole hearts worldwide. Born in 1939, he was 47 when the first film hit theaters. The role earned him a Golden Globe and an Oscar nomination for Best Screenplay. After the Dundee trilogy, Hogan appeared in films like Lightning Jack and Strange Bedfellows, though none matched his breakout success. As of 2025, Paul Hogan is 85 years old and lives a quiet life in Australia. He occasionally appears in interviews, reflecting on his legendary role with pride. Linda Kozlowski played Sue Charlton, the smart and curious New York reporter who falls for Mick Dundee. Born in 1958, she was 28 when Crocodile Dundee premiered. The film not only launched her acting career but also led to real-life romance. She married co-star Paul Hogan in 1990. After a few more films, including the Dundee sequels, Linda stepped away from Hollywood in the early 2000s. Now 67 in 2025, she lives a private life and focuses on business and travel. Though retired from acting, fans still remember her as the fearless reporter who ventured into the outback. John Meillon brought warmth and humor to the role of Walter Riley, Mick Dundee's loyal and witty friend in the outback. Born in 1934, he was 52 when Crocodile Dundee hit screens. A respected Australian actor long before the film, Meillon had a strong career in both theatre and television, and was also known for narrating popular Aussie commercials. Sadly, John Meillon passed away in 1989 at the age of 55 due to cirrhosis of the liver. Despite his early passing, his performance as Walter remains a fan favorite and a beloved part of Australian cinema history. David Gulpilil played Neville Bell, the wise and quiet tracker who helped guide Mick and Sue through the Australian wilderness. Born on July 1, 1953, he was 33 years old when Crocodile Dundee premiered in 1986. He was already an acclaimed actor and traditional Aboriginal dancer, known for roles in films like Walkabout and Storm Boy. After Dundee, he continued to shine in movies like The Tracker and Charlie's Country. David Gulpilil passed away on November 29, 2021, at the age of 68, after a long battle with lung cancer. His legacy in Australian cinema remains unforgettable. Steve Rackman played Donk, the tough but lovable bar brawler who famously headbutts people instead of punching them. Born in 1953, he was 33 years old when he appeared in Crocodile Dundee. Before acting, Steve was a professional wrestler known as the Crusher in Australia. After the Dundee trilogy, he had a few more minor film roles but eventually left the spotlight. As of 2025, Steve Rackman is 72 years old and lives a private life in Australia, away from the entertainment industry. Fans still remember him as the big guy with a big heart from the outback. Gerry Skilton played Nugget, one of Mick Dundee's close mates in the outback, known for his relaxed attitude and rugged Aussie spirit. Born on March 12, 1945, he was 41 years old when Crocodile Dundee premiered in 1986. He returned for both sequels and remained proud of his role in the legendary franchise. While he had a few smaller roles outside of Dundee, the character of Nugget remained his most iconic. As of 2025, Gerry Skilton is 80 years old and enjoys a quiet life, occasionally connecting with fans who still remember him fondly. Maggie Blinco played Ida, the friendly and no-nonsense hotel owner in Walkabout Creek, bringing warmth and humor to the outback setting. Born in 1934, she was 52 years old when Crocodile Dundee premiered in 1986. Maggie had a long and respected career in Australian television and theatre, with appearances in shows like A Country Practice and Home and Away. She continued acting into her later years, often cast in wise and nurturing roles. As of 2025, Maggie Blinco is 91 years old and lives a quiet life, remembered fondly by fans of classic Aussie films. Terry Gill played Duffy, the grumpy bartender at the Walkabout Creek pub, always ready with a sarcastic comment. Born on October 25, 1939, he was 46 years old when Crocodile Dundee hit theaters in 1986. A familiar face in Australian film and TV, Terry appeared in popular series like Neighbors, Blue Heelers, and The Flying Doctors. He was also known for his work in theater and directing pantomimes. Sadly, Terry Gill passed away on February 25, 2015, at the age of 75, after battling lung cancer. His gruff charm left a lasting mark on Aussie entertainment. Mark Blum played Richard Mason, Sue Charlton's snobby and self-centered fiancé in Crocodile Dundee. Born on May 14, 1950, he was 36 years old when the film was released in 1986. A talented American actor, Mark had a strong career in both film and theater, with roles in movies like Desperately Seeking Susan and TV shows such as Succession, You, and Mozart in the Jungle. Sadly, Mark Blum passed away on March 25, 2020, at the age of 69, due to complications from COVID-19. He is remembered as a versatile actor with a strong presence on screen and stage. Michael Lombard played Sam Charlton, Sue's father and the editor of the newspaper she worked for in Crocodile Dundee. Born on August 8, 1934, he was 52 years old when the film was released in 1986. A seasoned American actor, Michael had a steady career in film, TV, and theater, with roles in Network, Pet Sematary, and numerous stage productions. He brought a calm authority to every role he played. Michael Lombard passed away on August 13, 2020, just 5 days after his 86th birthday. He left behind a legacy of thoughtful, understated performances. Reginald VelJohnson played Gus, the friendly limo driver who helped Mick Dundee navigate the busy streets of New York. Born on August 16, 1952, he was 34 years old when Crocodile Dundee premiered in 1986. Just a few years later, he became a household name as Carl Winslow in the hit sitcom Family Matters. He also starred in the Die Hard films as Sergeant Al Powell. Reginald has remained active in television and film for decades. As of 2025, he is 72 years old, still occasionally appearing in guest roles and beloved by fans for his warm, comedic style. Rik Colitti played Danny, the doorman at the Plaza Hotel in Crocodile Dundee, who welcomed Mick Dundee to New York with classic Big Apple attitude. Born on February 1, 1934, he was 52 years old when the film came out in 1986. Rik had a solid career in film and television, often cast in working-class or law enforcement roles. His warm, streetwise presence brought authenticity to every scene. Rik Colitti passed away on January 30, 2010, just 2 days before his 76th birthday. His role in Crocodile Dundee remains one of his most recognizable performances. John Snyder played the flashy pimp in Crocodile Dundee, who famously got disarmed by Mick with that iconic, "That's not a knife" scene. Born on September 21, 1952, he was 34 years old when the film was released in 1986. Snyder had a steady acting career with appearances in popular shows like Star Trek, The Next Generation, Babylon 5, and voice work in several video games and animated series. Known for his unique voice and versatile roles, John stayed active in the entertainment industry. As of 2025, he is 72 years old and still occasionally does voice acting in conventions. And Carlisle played Gwendolyn, the stylish and quirky New York socialite in Crocodile Dundee, who shared a memorable elevator scene with Mick. Born on July 15, 1956, she was 30 years old when the film was released in 1986, and was already known for her cult film Liquid Sky, where she played both lead roles. She's also a writer, performance artist, and educator, with a deep influence in underground art circles. As of 2025, and Carlisle is 69 years old and remains active in the arts, continuing to inspire through film, teaching, and experimental projects. And Francine played Fran, one of the elegant high society women Mick Dundee encounters in New York. Born on August 8, 1917, she was 69 years old when Crocodile Dundee premiered in 1986. Before her film role, and had a distinguished career on Broadway and in television, best known for playing villains like Flora Simpson Riley in Harper Valley PTA. Her commanding presence and sharp wit made her a standout in any role. And Francine passed away on May 3, 1999, at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy in both stage and screen. Paul Greco appeared as a stereotypical fast-talking New Yorker in Crocodile Dundee, adding to the culture clash that made the film so funny. Born on October 21, 1955, he was 30 years old when the movie was released in 1986. Paul was best known for his role as the leader of the orphans gang in the cult classic The Warriors, 1979. He also had supporting roles in films like Trading Places and Once Upon a Time in America. Sadly, Paul Greco passed away on December 17, 2008, at the age of 53, after a battle with lung cancer. Clarke played Simone, one of the women Mick Dundee meets during his time in New York. Born on May 3, 1952, she was 34 years old when Crocodile Dundee was released in 1986. Caitlin is best remembered for her lead role as Valerian in the fantasy film Dragon Slayer, 1981. She also had a strong background in theater, performing on Broadway and teaching acting at the University of Pittsburgh. Sadly, Clarke passed away on September 9, 2004, at the age of 52, after a battle with ovarian cancer. Her work continues to be cherished by fans of cult classics. Mette played Carlisle, one of the minor characters Mick Dundee meets during his fish-out-of-water adventures in New York City. Born on February 17, 1950, she was 36 years old when Crocodile Dundee came out in 1986. While her role in the film was small, Nancy had several appearances in TV shows and movies during the 1980s and 1990s, including St. Elsewhere and Family Ties. After stepping back from acting, she maintained a more private life. As of 2025, Mette is 75 years old, enjoying retirement away from the spotlight. Kivel played the memorable role of the Coke Snorter, one of the tough guys Mick Dundee faces in New York. Born on October 15, 1952, he was 34 years old when Crocodile Dundee was released in 1986. Barry had a number of guest roles in television shows like Hill Street Blues and The X-Files throughout the 1980s and 1990s. Known for his rugged appearance and unique voice, he occasionally appeared in small roles in films. As of 2025, Barry Kivel is 72 years old, living a quieter life and mostly staying out of the public eye after his acting career. Thanks for watching. See you next time.